The shadow of death.
So good. So good. Alright, chapter 88. Wow. So this month we saw the conclusion of Grisha's backstory, or at least what we think it is, because we pretty much know everything we need to know now. So this Kruger guy who saved him and turned into that crazy titan, his name is Aaron Kruger, which is of course where Aaron got his name. Now this was pretty cool, not gonna lie. So Kruger just lays all the bombshells on Grisha. He tells him how we got to this point, all the terrible things he had to do, and his plan was now to get Grisha to eat him, inherit his powers, so he can essentially continue into the walls and steal the power from the royal family, which, you know, as we know, he sort of did. We never understood why, though, until now. Crazy part, though, and this was like a pretty big revelation. At first we're thinking, why doesn't Kruger do this himself, you lazy ass? You realize something's up when he turns back into his human form and he got a nosebleed. Now, Attack on Titan isn't really, you know, one of those series, so seeing a random nosebleed, probably not the best thing. Kruger reveals that after you become a Titan Shifter, you have 13 years to live. It has now been 13 years since Kruger has become a Titan Shifter, so he won't be able to continue on with his mission because he is going to die. So it's really fine if Grisha eats him to get his powers because he's going to die soon anyway. So crap, that means all the Titan Shifters are going to die quicker than they usually would, assuming that nothing ends up killing them before. So we see Eren, Armin, and Mikasa just talking about all this, and we see them realize that they are going to die pretty soon. Especially Eren, who has already been a Titan Shifter for 5 years, which means he only has about 8 years left to live. Now the two of them don't really seem worried about finding out when they're going to die, but I mean, to be fair, they probably don't give a shit at this point. Now this is interesting, because I'm not really sure how big a part this is going to play in the series. Mainly because most people are speculating that the series will be over within the next couple of years, and we really don't know at what point in time the series will end. Because say the series ends in the same time period, it'll just be like, oh well, Eren's gonna die in 7 years, but the series is over now. So who knows, we may see a time skip in the future or something when Eren is closer to death. Now this also means that a bunch of the other Titan Shifters will be dying soon too. We really don't know how long Reiner, Zeke, and Annie have been Titan Shifters. Although their time probably isn't up for another couple of years, just because, you know, 13 years is a long time, these guys aren't that old. So overall, this was a friggin' great chapter. The series has been fire recently, very, very excited, a ton of hype. Also that Season 2 announcement, I don't know why people are going crazy about that Season 2 announcement. I mean, we knew it was coming out in spring for a while now, and I mean, spring anime, first week of April. Like, I don't really get why announcing it's coming out in April is a huge deal, because I mean, friggin' spring anime. But there's one more thing I wanted to talk about. So I was spoiled on one thing going into this chapter. I saw a bunch of people freaking out. They were like, oh my god, Attack on Titan becomes so meta. Oh my god, the last page. And I did see a translation for the last page. The last thing we see Kruger say to Grisha is that each of the 9 Titans has a name. And Kruger's Titan, the one that will be inherited by Grisha, which will later be inherited by Eren, is called Shingeki no Kyojin, the Advancing Giant. Now, this is pretty crazy. This is the name of the series. Many people thought it meant Advancing Giants, but apparently it's just the Advancing Giant. I don't really know how friggin' Japanese translations work, but apparently that's what it was. Problem, though, is the friggin' English translation. Now, I usually don't have a problem with English translations at all. I'm usually all for them. Eren's Titan is called the Attack Titan in English. And if this is supposed to be a reference to the title, you fail. Listen, the title for this series is stupid. Ever since I first got into Attack on Titan, I'm like, okay, yo, this shit's pretty awesome, but what is up with that title? I remember looking in this like 1000 comics to read before you die or something, and it was published before Attack on Titan officially came out in English, and they referred to the series as Attack of the Titans, which makes a lot more sense for an English name. Holy crap, why is it Attack on Titan? Like, that's such a weird way to word it. And now that we know this actual connection with the title, how in Japanese Shingeki no Kyojin actually meant Eren's Titan, like that was the whole point. But now it just doesn't make any sense. Like, the Attack Titan? What? Don't all of the Titans attack? And that cool bombshell, they're like, oh my god, it's the name of the series. Like, that doesn't happen in English. Why did you call it Attack on... Like, that's such a weird name. Either way, though, pretty hype chapter, not gonna lie. As always, I'm super excited to see what is going to happen next. It seems like Grisha's backstory is done, so we are finally going to see what the crap these guys are going to do about it. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. You can leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.
I'm gonna find... and I'm gonna kill Every last one of them.